Let's take a look at the structure of a single muscle cell, also known as a muscle fiber. These are highly specialized cells, as you can see. The reason that muscle cells are called muscle fibers is because the muscle cell runs the whole distance of the muscle. So in other words, these cells run from the origin to the insertion of the muscle, and that's why they're known as muscle fibers, because they're long and fibrous shaped. Taking a look at this single muscle cell, you can see how they're peeling back the plasma membrane. The plasma membrane of a muscle cell is known as the sarcolemma. It's still the phospholipid bilayer, it's still the plasma membrane, but it's known as the sarcolemma. In addition to that name change, the cytoplasm inside of the cell is known as sarcoplasm. Some of the typical organelles are here. We can see multiple mitochondria in bright orange in this picture. We can also see multiple nuclei. So this purple structure is a nucleus. Here's another nucleus. And we can see a third nucleus over here. And you can see that the nucleus, or the nuclei, pardon me, are being displaced to the outer periphery of the cell, right underneath the sarcolemma, because the cell is filled with this other structure, this fibrous structure. That's known as a myofibril. Myofibrils fill the muscle cell. In the science fair model kind of idea, if I was going to make a model of a muscle cell, I would take a bundle of dry spaghetti, each strand of the dry spaghetti being a myofibril, take a bundle of that and saran wrap it together, and that's kind of what the structure is like. Just like the muscle cells run the length of the muscle, the myofibrils run the length of the cell. In addition, there are some new molecules in the cell. There's a molecule called myoglobin. Myoglobin is a relative of hemoglobin, and it stores oxygen within the muscle cell. There's also a variation of the smooth endoplasmic reticulum called the sarcoplasmic reticulum, and I'm going to show you where that is in another video, show you where that is and what that does. But in summary, muscle cell is also known as a muscle fiber. The plasma membrane is known as a sarcolemma. The cytoplasm is known as sarcoplasm. Skeletal muscle cells have multiple nuclei, mitochondria. The typical organelles are there, but really a structure known as a myofibril fills the cell. And we'll see that myofibrils are the basic contractile subunit of the cell.